Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Dinkytown Sports. Today, we make our Week 9 predictions, and we got a coaching carousel. What do we think?
And welcome back to the Dinkytown Sports Podcast with your hosts, Cody Hain, Christian Otati, and Zach Kane. Back down to three of us, boys.
It's fine. Cam didn't add anything.
What can you do?
Yeah, Cam's in Minnesota. What a weirdo. Does he know pod's more important than family?
Some people. Unbelievable.
Yeah, right off the bat, Christian brought this to our attention because I haven't been paying attention a whole lot. But Fleck, his name is in the coaching carousel now. The one I'm looking at is Arkansas, and I saw Penn State as well. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw the UCLA one out. I think that interim coach is going to be there next year. So, yeah. I'm going to start off with Christian since one of these schools does happen to be in the SEC. What do you think is going to happen with Fleck here?
I think he's going to stick around. I think, obviously, this is not the first time that he's been in these conversations. Like you guys had said, UCLA last year, UCLA, I think the year before that too, he was in the mix. And you said USC in 2019 earlier.
I believe, yeah.
He's just one of those, like, you got a good culture and they win games occasionally that are pretty big. So I think he's going to be in those conversations pretty much every year, because Minnesota is not going to be a powerhouse program that you can't drag him away from. But I think that he has a certain loyalty to them that maybe some coaches don't. Like, I feel more confident that Fleck will stay at Minnesota than I do a guy like Lane Kiffin staying at Ole Miss. I think that I think he's been thrown around for Florida for years now. They've been saying he's going to go to Florida. So I think that there's less of a chance that Fleck leaves, but I think it's still possible.
Zach, what do you think?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but if he wanted to leave, he would have left before this year. I don't think this year changes anything. I think he's just going to stay, and I wouldn't see a reason for him to leave. I mean, just because we beat Nebraska doesn't mean he's going to leave.
That's my thing. And this is coming from a Minnesota fan. I don't think Fleck is going to leave unless they obviously make an offer he can't refuse, but I don't think he's on that level yet. He's not on a Signetti level where they're just going to give you the throw the house at you type of thing, even though he's not leaving Indiana. No, I think more than likely Rule's probably, like, if anyone's going to end up at Penn State, it's probably going to be Matt Rule. If we're talking in the Big Ten Conference. I think Matt Rule will end up there. He didn't necessarily say that he wasn't looking at that job. People asked if that was a distraction for Nebraska. Sorry, these kids transfer every year as well. Get over it. This is the world we live in. No, I don't think Fleck's going to leave. And to the school who does try to get him, make sure he hires some good coordinators, because if you just get him and he doesn't hire good coordinators, you will not be good. Sorry. But maybe they're trying to pull the Lindsey. Arkansas might be trying to pull the Lindsey thing, because I believe he is from Arkansas.
Yeah, and I was going to add that.
They tried to get him late too, but he stuck with Minnesota because they're the first to offer him. So
yeah, that would be the worst possible thing that could ever happen to Minnesota, is if they pull Fleck and Lindsey out at the same time. That would be just like absolutely heartbreaking. So
we'd be back to the 3-9, 2-10 teams of the early 2010s.
I think Lindsey loves the culture here. I think he really loves it here. I don't see him leaving at the end of this year, no matter how good he does. I think especially if Fleck stays, I couldn't see him leaving. I think he loves the culture. He loves Fleck, and like he's had success. I don't know why he would.
Well, that's the only way he would leave, is if Fleck got hired by Arkansas, because Fleck is the one that built this culture. So his culture is going to follow him to South Carolina.
I could see a James Franklin to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Or Nebraska.
That's been
Matt
thrown
Rule
around.
leaves.
Yeah.
Matt Rule is going to be a hot commodity as always. I don't know what Nebraska is going to try to do. I don't know. They have to call up Warren Buffett or something to see if they get some more money for him. But yeah, I don't know.
I think if Matt Rule leaves Nebraska, I think James Franklin ends up there.
That would be funny. Basically a coaching trade.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well.
I mean, James Franklin at Nebraska would be scary. I will not lie.
Yeah. Anyways, that's just a quick. I don't think Fleck's going to leave. I don't know how much we can dive into it more towards the end of the season because nothing's going to be made official until the end of the season, anyways. Obviously, if Fleck comes out and says something that might hint at him leaving, we'll talk about it. But as far as I know, he hasn't said one word about leaving Minnesota, and I don't think he's going to. He just got re-signed again. Whatever he got re-signed, what was it, last year?
Yeah.
So whatever
every single year,
yeah,
which add another year to his contract.
So the buyout is still probably not astronomical for some of the bigger programs, but it's still there. And I don't know if you want to pay the buyout for Fleck. As much as I love the guy, I just think he's that rah-rah recruiter. He needs the coordinators to go with him. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll wait and see, but I've been hearing these rumors ever since 2019. That was the big one. After they went 11-2, he was a hot commodity for everyone. So
And there's coaches already in the South that are available that have big names. Like obviously Alex Golish for USF is pretty much, I would say, available. So I think he's in the conversation for Florida too. Like he's around there. The Tulane's head coach, I think, has been tossed around. Like there's guys that already have footholds in the South because Fleck is definitely not that. He's where was he? Western Michigan before Minnesota.
Yeah.
So he's been up there for a long, long time. So I think that's sort of what he knows and what he's comfortable with. So you got to take that into account as well.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, Fleck does a really good job of recruiting in that area, though. With he gets a lot of like 3 stars that kind of get overlooked in Georgia. I mean, that's what Rashad Bateman was. He was a 3-star wide receiver that none of the SEC schools wanted until late in the recruiting cycle.
Yeah.
And he chose Minnesota due to the loyalty of they saw me, they wanted me immediately, and you guys came in at the last second. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think he's going to leave. If he does, I don't know if it'll be Penn State. I would maybe if he did leave, he'd probably go to Arkansas or something. But who knows? I don't think he's leaving. So
if Penn State offered him the position, I think he would 100% leave.
I don't think he would.
Penn State would be the most likely option.
I just don't think he's going to leave in general, so it's hard for me to dive into this because
I mean Penn State's most likely option, but I 100% think Matt Rule will end up there at the end of the year.
I think that'd be their top target in all honesty.
Well, I mean, he's good friends with the AD. He played there. Like,
yeah,
they're gonna get him.
He's got a lot of connections there
at this point. Yeah.
So maybe that's why I put Arkansas ahead of Penn State was because of Matt Rule and all his connections to Penn State. So that's why I give Arkansas the edge. But I don't know if I think Arkansas would be better off trying to go for the head coach at USF. I can't remember his name. Sorry, Golish. I wouldn't be surprised if they went after him more so than Fleck. Because USF has been pretty decent the past few years with him there.
Yeah, he's one of the top offensive guys for sure. I think it's going to be crazy because I think Kiffin's going to go to Florida, and then that opens up another can of worms that we have yet to see. So this could be as exciting as the Saban retirement, I think, in terms of coaching.
I think after the season ends, we don't normally do this, but I might go a few weeks into the off season with all the craziness with the coaching because there's a lot to talk about there, more so than last year for sure. There wasn't a whole lot of big schools opening up yet.
Yep.
Basically, it would have been Florida, but he saved his job by turning it on at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But he didn't this year. So, anyways, we're just going to meander over to the picks here. I don't think there's any more big news in the college football world this week besides the coaching rumors.
Not that I know of.
No. Matt Rule's definitely gone from Nebraska, I think. Sorry, Nebraska fans. But I would just assume. I just assume he'd want to go to Penn State. So, anyways, we got the first game here. It's an SEC matchup. It's an 11 o'clock game, which pretty early for this one. Number 8, Ole Miss.
Did you want to go through last week quick?
Oh yeah, sorry, dude, my bad.
Terrible host.
Yeah, I'm a terrible host. I should just quit my job. Yeah, we'll go through last week quick here. In the Nebraska game, Cam took the over. That did not hit. Christian lost faith in Minnesota at the wrong time. This is the one game that they show out for, I guess. He took Nebraska -8.5. I took Minnesota +8.5, which obviously the Gophers won handily, and Zach took the under. I do want to ask your guys' thoughts about this game because of how much of a turnaround it was for the Gophers in that, at least in that one game.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zach, what do you think?
Oh, I mean, it was absolutely beautiful to watch. I love nothing more than beating the crap out of Nebraska, especially scrolling on Twitter all week and just seeing how all their fans talk mad crap about us, saying they're going to beat us by 2+ scores. Just go out there and absolutely manhandle them on every aspect of the game. It brought a tear to my eye. Now, let's just do it again this week and leave no hope for Iowa and just absolutely demoralize them.
I'm going to go out and say this too. Nebraska, quit talking about beating us by 2 scores. We've won the last 6 games against you. Minnesota owns you. Fleck is your daddy. And get over it. 9 sacks, though, program record in a game. That, I don't care who you're playing, that's impressive. I know their offensive line is like a wet paper bag. But that's still, I don't know if any other team had posted 9 sacks against Nebraska yet. So that was encouraging to see. Anthony Smith started getting going, which was, we've been waiting almost all season for. That looked like the defenses of old for Minnesota. Like, stopping the run, they're making their tackles. There weren't many missed tackles for Minnesota this week.
I like the pressure, too. The pressure was
Yeah.
nice.
Bring
Like,
blitzes.
Bring pressure, yeah.
I'm not saying blitz all the time, but change your looks, bring blitzes. You have stellar safeties. You have decent cornerbacks from what I saw. Raiola had to make some big-time plays just to get his 2 field goals. So I like seeing that. Bend but don't break, but they didn't really bend that game either. Christian, what are your thoughts from a more of a outside point of view?
I mean, what can you say? It was just a really good performance all around. I think, they were efficient through the air, and then obviously Darius Taylor on the ground had a life game, basically. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's just obviously as like a fan of football, I would have liked to see more offense. But if you're gonna go 16 for 20 through the air, and then Darius Taylor has 24 carries for 150 yards, you're not really ever gonna complain. And
Yeah.
the defense played well. Obviously, like you said, the 9 sacks is like totally ridiculous. And hopefully that this was more of a get right game, because I don't think the defensive line has been that great, honestly, all year. So I think this was their time to prove it against a very good team. And yeah, first half was kind of just slow. I would have liked to see a little bit more um, explosiveness in the beginning, but the second half was a total rout. Like, just they came out of half and just the game was over before it even started in the second half. So yeah, great game. Let's see if they can carry it into Iowa.
Yeah, and part of me wonders too, though, with that grinding, like that slow first half, if they're just grinding Nebraska, and then once Nebraska got tired, because they are a good team, but they don't have a ton of depth. Like,
yeah,
they don't have a next man up type of thing where another guy comes in, and I don't know if their defensive scheme against Minnesota, they just thought they're going to sit back and throw all day, because we have been. And then all of a sudden Minnesota turns around and goes back to their ground and pound offense that we're used to seeing out of Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that is. 16 to 20, when you have Darius Taylor carry the ball 25 times and get like 140, 150 yards, you're not going to throw the ball 30 times. I mean, as much as I would like to see Lindsey throw the ball 30 times, when your ground game's working,
it would be silly to go away from that. Definitely.
Yeah. But
the main part is being able to run the ball consistently and doing it well. That's the difference between Purdue and Nebraska.
Well, it's and as a coach, you have to have the wherewithal, the nuance to be like, maybe that we're not running the ball. That's the issue that I think Fleck and Harbaugh have had, is that they think that they're going to get a game like that from Darius Taylor, but they take too long to realize that they're not. And then they kind of get behind. But even with the first half, there wasn't really that much grinding. It was kind of a punt fest. But what really cemented it was the 14 play, 8.5 minute drive when they came
99
out of
yards.
Yeah, so that was really
Yeah.
when
Beautiful Big Ten football.
and then it was a quick 3-play drive and basically the game was over after that. So,
And I would like to say I was kind of questioning our defense's manhood after Purdue because they gave up a ton of big plays against them. Um, they got some pressure in, not anything noteworthy. But this game, it looked like they finally found something. I'm hoping there's normally a game in the season when Minnesota has a decent year where they just flip a switch. In 2019, we barely beat South Dakota State. We barely beat UNLV, Fresno State, sorry. But barely beat Fresno State. And then all of a sudden, after the bye week, they flipped a switch and started blowing people out and playing well. So I'm hoping that this was a flip switching for Minnesota. Maybe the new defensive coordinator getting some experience in. But I have no complaints about this game. That was an absolute slaughter. The score does it no justice. That game was more than an 18-point win.
mhm.
And Minnesota just kind of we have cousins who are Nebraska fans, and I was Snapchatting him. He turned it off in the fourth quarter, and Nebraska was still in the game, but he goes, they just can't stop Minnesota. They're just going to keep ramming it down our throats, and we're going to go 3-and-out the next drive, and we're just going to be tired. So I love crushing the will of the opponents, and that's exactly what we did this game. So
Yeah, this was Fleck
right.
when it goes right. That's like a Fleck game when at its best, but like we've seen before, it can work the other way. So,
oh yeah,
we'll see.
I just want to point out though, Purdue hasn't lost to a team that is under 5-2.
I get what you're saying, but our defense still should have been better that game.
I mean, we only give up 20 points.
Do you want to talk about the yardage disparity?
Yeah, that was bad.
Or the fact that we had to rely on a
I don't know if that's much
to
as our
win?
defense or as our offense just not being able to do anything.
That's
to
also
regulate
fair.
the game.
And they are also the worst defense in the Big Ten. They might score a lot of points, but they give up a lot of points, and we struggled. Slap kind of bugged me. But
Well, I mean, 33 to USC. I mean, they scored 30 against Notre Dame and 27 against Illinois. It's not like they're not scoring. Their offense
No,
is
I'm
pretty
not.
good, honestly.
I said their offense
besides against
scores, but
Northwestern.
their
Yeah,
defense is
Northwestern's
bad. So, anyways, moving on. We will talk more about the Gophers when we get to their when we get to the pig. So, all right. Up next, we had what was this? Washington at Michigan. Me, Christian, and Cam all got this wrong. We took Washington plus 6.5. Apparently Michigan came out with a chip on their shoulder. So
Must-win game for them. Must-win game.
Yeah, if Sharon Moore wants to stay there another year, he needed to win that one. Zach took the under. He got that one right. There's going to be a theme. Zach took the under for everything.
Yeah, if you can recall.
Yeah.
Stupid week
of
picks.
Stupid week of picks.
This was a get-right game, though, for them because they had lost the bad to USC the week before. So Bryce Underwood is really good. Like, I don't know if you guys have been taking notice of this, but I was low on him coming into the season. I was worried about him but he is so talented. It's crazy. They're going to be very good next year and the year after that.
Yeah. So I hope we play him next year. I want the little brown jug back in Minnesota. One of our many, many, many trophy games that we have here. Up next, it was LSU and Vandy. Cam took LSU plus 2.5. Terrible pick, no offense. Christian and I talked about it last week. If they run into a team that has some semblance of an offense, they're in trouble. And that's exactly what happened. Christian took the Vandy money line. I took Vandy minus 2.5. I can't remember the final score. I was at a concert on Saturday. It was my birthday.
31-24.
So Vandy, yeah. I mean, LSU put up 24 points.
I mean, that's what you're going to get out of them. You're going to get like 17 to 24.
And I said, as long as you can put up more than 28, or if you can put up 28, you're going to beat LSU.
Yeah, so. I think the big surprise was LSU giving up 31 points because they had played very well thus far. I think when we were talking about it, that this was one that I felt like the under was going to hit almost certainly. So Pavia is just so electric on the ground. I mean,
dude's a stud.
It's so difficult to contain him. And Nussmeier didn't even have that bad of a game. It's just like the defense let him down, and they didn't really have a run game. But when you have to compete with Pavia, he can sling it too. He's not a bad
Mhm.
thrower, so he's a true two-way. Um, yeah, it's very difficult.
And we all know that dual threat quarterbacks suck to play against.
The SEC has a problem with dual threat quarterbacks. They can
So does Minnesota.
none of their defenses can handle it. Like Cam Newton was Superman when he was at Auburn, and Jalen Milroe was a problem when he was there. Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. It's like if you can run, the SEC has a problem. So
I think the Big Ten has, like, as a whole, has a little bit less of a problem with that. And I'm not sure if that's just the philosophical differences between Big Ten defense and an SEC defense.
probably, yeah.
But Minnesota struggles against dual threats too, because we just never seem to have a defensive end fast enough to stay on the outside with them.
Yeah, you got to have quick
So,
linemen and very fast linebackers. That's
yes. And that's where Minnesota struggles sometimes, is the athleticism point. But that's why we've been so good at defense. It's always been the scheme, not so much the athletes. Even though we do have some good athletes, we don't have a unit of athletes.
right.
We have football
At
players,
least compared
so.
to the SEC would.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't make sense, because the SEC is going to have the athletes, but they still can't do it. It's like the inverse, their scheme issue, and Bam has had a problem since Saban was around. So
it's hard to cover a dual threat guy to begin with. So, but up next, I can't believe we all got this one wrong. Ole Miss at Georgia. Every single one of us took the under in this game. That was the first time in podcast history was made. We all picked the under in a game, and we all lost. Yeah, it was Georgia by 7.5. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't get to watch much football on Saturday. The over-under was 54.5. Georgia was favored by 7.5. We all took the under. I thought Georgia's defense would have done something. I guess they've really fallen off the wagon. I know Ole Miss has a good offense, but this is not a normal Georgia defense.
If I was a Big Ten fan, I would point at this game as like the SEC on fraud watch. This is the game, because these are supposed to be your big guys this year. You know, Alabama was, I think, ranked lower than both of these teams preseason. You're expecting this to be like a real dogfight, but Gunnar Stockton had a legacy game. He kind of just went crazy, and the Georgia defense is not nearly as good as they've been, obviously, which is interesting because Kirby's one of those guys that has a great defensive mind. So maybe they're running into some issues with that, but yeah, just this one I was certain was going to be an under. So
yeah, no, for sure. Then I would also like to point out, I've been seeing on the internet, because I get a lot of college football on my TikTok, Twitter feed, all that stuff. Someone will point out, if a bad SEC school beats a good SEC school, it's always, oh, this SEC school is actually really good, even though they're bad in the SEC. But if a Big Ten school does that, both schools suck. And it's not due to SEC fans, it's due to national media that say that.
I think it's SEC fans as well.
Well, Christian's actually pretty even keel. He even said flat out he doesn't know if the Big Ten or SEC is better this year. And I don't know either, because it's hard to tell at this point. I think the talent is starting to even out. So
it's because everybody can pay players now.
Well, it's because they don't want to sit and wait to play anymore. So, anyways,
we argued about this 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah, we're gonna skip by that one.
Beat a dead horse. No, thank you.
Up next, we had number 11 Tennessee at Alabama. We all took the under, and we all got this one right. First time in podcast history. Congrats, boys.
This was a skin of the teeth situation too.
Close.
How much did Bama end up winning by?
They won by 17. It was 37-20.
So, all right, good for them.
And Tennessee went for the touch. They were on the goal line in the last play, and he was ruled short. Some Tennessee, Tennessee fans, are you watching? You are the saltiest.
Nobody's watching.
Most unhinged, worst, sore loser fans on the planet. It's ridiculous how bad Twitter gets when Tennessee loses a game. It's embarrassing. Grow up. They're like, oh, you should have scored. He was over. His knee wasn't down. You lost the game.
By
Give it up.
17.
Yeah. 10. You lost by 2 possessions still. Good job. Woo.
Like that's my thing. It'd be one thing if it was like if there's a controversy, like if it's like a 7-point game and they're going for the tie and that happens, I can understand. Then it's a controversy. When you're down 17, there is no controversy because one touchdown does not make up 17 points.
It's just so ridiculous. It's always been like this. Tennessee Twitter is the most toxic, annoying, insane, stupid, moronic of any of the Auburn fan. Like Barners are fine. Like I'm totally okay with Auburn fans, but Tennessee fans are just so annoying. And they haven't beaten us at home since 2003.
Yeah.
It's totally, it's just, I can't believe it.
2003 was a great year. Marion Barber, Lawrence Maroney. No, anyways, moving on. We're going to kind of blow through these ones because these are games that unless you guys want to sit and talk about them, something you saw. We had USC at Notre Dame. Notre Dame continues to prove that they're a good football team. Cam and Christian took USC plus 9.5. I don't know how I feel about USC. They're up and down all the time. Because they had that big win against Michigan, but what does that say about Michigan now? Like,
I just think their play style is boom or bust, and it depends who you run into.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's really hard to gauge just college football teams in general. Like, comparative games don't really work as much because there's teams with so many different play styles that it's just like it's really hard to compare the two games to each other.
Yeah, I would say the person that probably knows more schematically about college football, Christian, he has the worst record, and he knows the most schematically out of all of us.
Zach knows a lot too. He's up there.
He knows, but
I know ball.
And he knows balls. And
besides
Jeremiah Love, by the way, I got in a Twitter argument. He's very good, but someone told me that he's better than Ashton Genty, like as a prospect. Do we believe that?
I don't. Sorry,
because he's doing this against better competition.
Scadaboo is better.
So yeah, Scadaboo is really good, but he wasn't that highly touted coming into the draft. I think he was RB7 off the board. So
yeah,
I have a question for you guys, Sierra. If Jeremiah Love was in last year's draft, where would you have him? Would you have him above Hampton but below Genty, above Genty? What would be your 1, 2, 3 there?
That's gonna be tough because Hampton was
really honestly good. I think it'd been more on like the team philosophy, like how they got chosen.
Right.
I think a team like the Raiders would have taken Genty, but a team like the Chargers, like they would have taken.
You think they would have went with Love over Hampton?
They would have went with Love over Hampton. Like if they had the pick of Genty and Love, I think they would have went Love just because I think it fits their play style a little bit more. So I think it really just depends on like the team's philosophy. I think Genty's a better running back, but I think Love can be more versatile.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're skipping to is like how they fit into your schemes. Personally, if I just had to rank them,
just like raw prospect.
I'm debating. I still think he's number 2. I still think Genty because I know he played against lesser opponents, but he also did it against Oregon. He played in the CFP and he did it against those schools. He had no help. He pretty much carried that team to a playoff berth.
No, I
personally, I think he should have won the Heisman.
I would agree with that.
I know Travis Hunter did. I get what he did was special, but Genty was to me the best player in the country last year. Anyways, I would probably put him at 2 or 3 because I don't know how I feel. I love Hampton. I loved him in college. Love is great, but once again, they're kind of different styles too, so it all depends on what you're looking for.
And he's got 6 yards a carry at Notre Dame. That's ridiculous. He's so good.
I want to see what Genty would have had if he had an offensive line.
Jadarian Price, his number 2 is at 6.7.
Jeez. But how much of that is them versus how good their offensive line is this year? Because I know you need both.
That's always hard.
It's a combination.
It's always hard to say.
But the only reason why we can say that about Ginty is because we know his offensive line wasn't great. He was having, if you watched him eye test wise, he was having great runs just to get 4 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I put Ginty higher, because he was doing it himself more or less.
Ginty was 7 yards a carry at Boise State last year.
Yeah, that's insane. But anyways, moving on, because we got to get to our picks here at some point, because I know we're going to talk. We got a rivalry to talk about. So Zach took the under that game. I took Notre Dame -9.5. Up next, it was Missouri at Auburn. Cameron took the under, got it right. Christian took Auburn plus 1.5, and that did not hit. I took Mizzou -1.5, and Zach took the under. Auburn's having a rough year.
I mean, yeah, another the OT loss, another one possession game. Yeah, they're basically Nebraska last year.
2 years ago, or when were they 3-9 with all those?
I think it was last year, wasn't it? Or
no,
it was
not with the rule.
2 years
they made a bowl game last year.
Yeah, best 3-9 team to ever exist.
Yeah, Auburn's on pace.
Yeah, not a thing you want to have in your belt there.
You know, Bo Pribula had a Heisman campaign 2 weeks ago. Not anymore. Definitely not. He threw 2 picks in this game, and he wasn't very good against Alabama either. So,
yeah. Up next, we had the Holy War. Cam took the under and got it right. Zach took the under and got it right. 48.5. I was kind of iffy, but I should have gone the under there. They were right. Low scoring game typically between the two teams. Christian, I took Utah -3.5. That was not a good pick for us.
If you recall, I said I wanted to pick BYU, but I was going against what I thought to try and game the system, and it was
Christian
wrong,
just can't get anything right.
No, it's not my year. It's fine.
No. All right. So the updated records are: Cam is 29-34. Christian is 25-40. Good luck. Good luck. First to 40 losses. I am 32-33. Hey, got to look on the bright side here, man. I'm 32-33, and Zach, I can't believe I'm going to say this, is 36-29.
He's cooking.
Yeah.
Bro's having a year.
I was waiting for the breakout week. Now I'm here. I'm here to stay.
I just want to point out, look at the lifetime records. Just saying. Still number one. Still number one. Zach has a long way to go to make up that, because I have like almost a 600 record.
Not doing very well right now.
We're just gonna hop in here because of the fact I'm sure we're gonna spend some time on Minnesota, Iowa, because big rivalry for us. All right, first up we got Ole Miss, number 8 Ole Miss at number 13 Oklahoma. The spread is Oklahoma is favored by 5.5, and the over/under is set at 51.5. Christian, you're our SEC expert. Take it away.
This one's going to be a banger. Oklahoma with Brent Venables on the defensive side, and then you got obviously Lane Kiffin on the offensive side for Ole Miss. This one's going to be very interesting because somebody's going to break, and who is it? Because Ole Miss, I don't know. Are you really confident in them? They played a tight one against LSU, and they haven't really shown anything special. Obviously, they lost last week to Georgia. But then on the other hand, Oklahoma just got butt whooped by Texas, but they beat South Carolina, who's a good team. So it's hard to judge. It's the SEC, man. You have no idea who's good until you get to the playoffs, and then they all lose to Big Ten teams, and then we get made fun of. So John Mateer, another Bo Pribula situation. Heisman had it pretty much. He was a front runner, and now he doesn't anymore. So I think I would imagine he's healthier this week. So I think you're going to get Mateer back in form, and this one's going to be really good. I'm leaning Oklahoma this week because I think Ole Miss is kind of on fraud watch, which is every year, because they usually don't have a great defense, and Kiffin is boomer bust. I've said that a couple times about people this week, but truly, because you could get, even with Jackson Dart, they would have 1 week where they'd score 50 something against a really good team, and then the next week they're struggling to put up 21. That's just what you're going to get with Lane Kiffin. So Oklahoma's favored by less than a touchdown, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to take Oklahoma minus 5.5.
Zach, you're next, buddy.
I mean, I think he's right about Ole Miss being a boomer bust, but for them, this is almost a must-win game for them here. You're 3-1 in the SEC. You just lost to Georgia. You played a very bad game against Washington State. You barely beat LSU. Like, I think this is a must-win game. They always play their games close, but I think I'm gonna take Ole Miss plus 5.5 here. I think they know that this is a game that they have to win if they're going to want to make the CFP. So I think they come out firing, and it's the same thing for Oklahoma. But I haven't been very impressed with Oklahoma. I mean, that 23-6 loss against Texas is very bad. So I think Ole Miss plus 5.5 is a really good pick here.
All right, so I'm going to throw out the Red River rivalry because rivalry games are always weird. And Mateer was not 100% for that game, which is a big deal because he needs to be on for them to win. Oh, this is also a must-win for Oklahoma, by the way. Like, and they're at home. Oklahoma needs to win this football game. And they're at home. I'm sure they're going to have a chip on their shoulder after being run over by Texas last week. A not that great Texas team, mind you. 2 weeks ago, sorry. Did they have a bye week last week?
They played South Carolina.
They played South Carolina.
Yeah. South Carolina, that's right. Sorry. I'm focusing too much on the getting run over by a bad Texas or a not great Texas team.
It's hard to forget, so I don't blame you.
But I'm going to take Oklahoma minus 5.5 here. They're at home, which is, if this was at Ole Miss, I'd probably go Ole Miss plus 5.5 for obvious reasons. But I think Oklahoma is going to come out and they're going to want to make a statement here. Because I know South Carolina is a good team, but record-wise, it wasn't a statement win for them. So they're going to go out and try to get their statement win this week. All right. Well, we got through that one, boys.
Oh, I'm just saying. If it sways your pick, Toledo's put 45 up on Kent State, and Oklahoma only put up 44. So,
oh boy,
just saying.
Transitive.
Common denominator right there.
The transitive property back at work. That's how UCF got a national championship.
Hey, that championship is valid. All right.
Yeah, they claimed it. Sadly. Anyways,
what do you mean, sadly?
I mean, I'm happy for them. But they weren't even in the
Bikes
playoff.
Are getting their
year.
butt kicked right now. By the way,
I already turned it off. Bunch of losers.
I got Gadsden on waivers and I didn't start him this week, and he's already got a touchdown. So that was
ouch. All right, up next we got the Alabama Crimson Tide taking on South Carolina. Alabama is ranked number 4 in the country. Congrats on getting back in the top 5. I don't know if you were there last week or not, but I don't think you were.
We were not.
So Bama is favored by 11.5. The over-under is set at 46.5. Christian, once again, we have a lot of SEC games, so I'll give you a break after this one, but this is your team, so.
Yeah, let's rank some Big Ten teams, guys. What do we think?
I would love to. Talk to the
rank us, coward.
Talk to the national media, buddy.
Actually, while we're on that subject, we don't have that many games, so I'm gonna look up the AP poll here. Let's take a peek.
I also prefer not being ranked going
until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody was ranking Minnesota, my man. That's not what I was talking about.
Hey, I mean, we got a vote. We got one vote.
We got a single vote. All right.
Okay.
And it wasn't even the Minnesota guy.
Yeah, there was a guy out there.
So on the cusp, you got USC received 97 votes, so they're right outside. I'm not seeing any Iowa. This is so interesting. Minnesota gets a vote last week.
Minnesota got more votes than Iowa,
which is just crazy to me, especially when you look at like kind of what Vegas is thinking for that game. We'll get to it eventually, but yeah, man, throw some Big Ten teams in there. I don't want to see Cincinnati in my. I don't want to see 6-1 Cincinnati in my AP poll. Come on.
Yeah, no offense.
Dude, they're 6-1. They have to be ranked.
No, they don't.
Nebraska beat them.
Yeah, dude, 6-1 in the power conference. They have to be ranked. I don't like
5-2 in a power conference. Have to rank them. Come on.
No, that's only for SEC.
I don't want to see I don't want to see Arizona State in my AP poll. This is crazy.
So you don't want to see anybody but Big Ten, SEC in your AP polls.
Christian,
I mean,
I do want to.
let's be real. Let's be real. Is Cincinnati beating anyone in the Power Four? Or,
probably not in the Big Ten. No,
not. Sorry, in the Big Ten or SEC. Is Arizona
the Big 12
State?
is weak.
Arizona lost 42-10 to Utah. Come on, let's wake up. Anyway,
I do have a question for you though before we move on, and it's not about take out the Big Ten SEC rivalry for a second. Do you think that Big Tens have to do more to get ranked than like a Big 12 program?
Yeah. Well, then a Big 12 program? No.
The Big 12?
Yeah.
No.
Big 12,
SEC? Yeah.
no.
They have to do more than the SEC. No, I think they're looking for a reason to keep Big 12 teams out.
Well, it's because it's a terrible conference.
I mean, they were like, actually, you might be right, because do you remember how high they had Texas Tech last week?
Yeah.
That was crazy. I saw
Minnesota could have had that same record, same opponents, and they would have been ranked like 19th.
You know what Chris Lowe had? You know him, the reporter, right? Chris Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
His SP Plus rating had Texas Tech as the best team in the country last week.
Wrong.
It's just like I have no idea what they're thinking. And then yeah, I mean, ACC has it the hardest. Let's be real. They definitely
I can't argue that.
They definitely have it the hardest. I think everyone hates the
Unless
ACC,
you're Clemson.
just like as a matter of fact, they do not like them. Well, even Clemson, they were waiting, they were itching to get Clemson kicked out of the top 25. They were hoping and praying that would happen. But yeah,
that Dabo.
The Big Ten definitely does have to do more. It's just based off. Like, how about next year they preseason rank more Big Ten teams and then see how that changes? I think mostly it's up to that. I think preseason SEC teams are favored more.
Yeah.
So it's just like early season, you're getting ranked wins against teams that probably wouldn't be ranked at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Whereas the Big Ten always has good teams late. Have you guys noticed that? That it's the inverse. The SEC starts off strong, at least in rating and in play most of the time. But then you get at the end, and then Ohio State kicks somebody's butt from the SEC and the CFP, and then other teams in the Big Ten. Like, what was the bowl record last year? It was like crazy, 5-1 or something.
Yeah, Big Ten kicked the living crap out of SEC last year. No offense.
Yeah, I think it's just like just the media thinking like SEC teams based off their like talent or something. I don't know.
And I think they get more. This is speaking national media because that's who does the rankings. I think the SEC just gets more hype nationally than most conferences.
Well, I think recently, besides the here and there, I think it's hard. I know this is like the argument that everyone gets at. I think it's hard to say that as a conference, top to bottom, that the Big Ten has been better than the SEC. I don't think they have, just like historically.
Yeah, I'll give you that. The past 2 decades.
Since like this, like 2003, like the Saban LSU team, I don't think that the Big Ten top to bottom has been as good at that as the SEC. I just think talent, because back then it was like more of a local regional thing, and a lot of talent athletically was from the South.
Was in that area. Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but I think definitely now that they're pretty even.
Yeah.
Like I would say mid-pack SEC teams and Big Ten teams would have close games across the board.
Oh, 100%. And once again, it depends on styles too, because there are teams like Minnesota played Auburn that year, and they were a good Auburn team. They beat Alabama that year. And Minnesota
we can get into the Alabama being really bad that year, but it's okay. We don't.
But I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is Auburn had no answers for Minnesota's power game that game.
Yeah, they're not built for it. It's just
that's why it's so hard to say like, well, a mid-tier SEC team's better, because it just depends. Like if they play up here in November, the Big Ten team's probably winning. If we play down south in November, the SEC team's probably winning.
I'm not buying into
that. I'll throw it out. I'll throw that out. Well, okay, you're saying if a Florida team came up to Minnesota in November and played in 20-degree weather, it wouldn't be that bad for them compared to Minnesota going down and playing in the 90s?
Lord had blessed me to play in some snow. I think they're looking to play. I think if you get Jameis Winston up in the north, he's happy to do it. I think they're happy to do that.
Oh,
It's football.
I love To be fair, I love Jameis. I didn't like him coming out of college, and now he's one of my favorite athletes. Just
You
he's
know,
so weird.
I think the game we all need to see here to find out who is a better conference is a Wisconsin versus Kentucky standoff. That would feed families.
Well, in the 2032, is it? Alabama and Minnesota are matching up, right? Is that
Oh,
a
yeah.
is that a home and home now?
Home and home deal. Yeah, it's a home
Yeah,
and
home and
It's
home.
always been home. Yeah.
Can't wait.
So
Yep.
Too
we'll
bad it'll be in
see.
September.
Oh, is it? Oh, that sucks.
It's gonna be early season,
it's gonna have to be because we play 9 conference games.
and then the SEC
Oh,
is
right.
moving to 9, and
Yeah.
the SEC is moving to 9
Man,
next year
times
too.
are changing. It's
yeah, but they're
crazy.
not.
Yeah.
But they're not right now. So I gotta call them losers.
This year. Anyways, moving on.
Well, I can.
Bama at South Carolina. Bama is favored by 11.5. The over/under set at 46.5. Christian, your team, you got the honors.
I think pre-show I was telling you that I thought this was a trap game. But as I was thinking about it, I think that this Bama team is built different than I think that Jalen Milroe was not as good as Ty Simpson is, just
Mhm.
as a quarterback. And what we've seen from Ty Simpson especially in this run against ranked games is that if he gets down, if he needs to fight through adversity, he's going to do it. And
Mhm.
I think that this game, it's at home. Is it at home or are we in South Carolina this year?
You're in South
It's
Carolina.
In South Carolina.
Okay. They've already lost at home. Oklahoma came in and beat them. I think we're certainly a better team than Oklahoma. And I don't think that they were looking ahead at us because Oklahoma was ranked very highly when they played.
Yeah.
So I think that South Carolina is talented across the board. I really like Lenora Sellers. I think that they have athletes everywhere. And I think this will be a much harder game than some people might think. But I just think Ty Simpson is that guy. I think that he's a prototype grinder. He gives me, oh my God, this is crazy. He feels like Tom Brady, right? Come on, somebody give it to me. Somebody tell
Okay.
me that Ty Simpson plays like Tom Brady. He fights through adversity.
Ty Simpson plays like Tom Brady. He deflates the balls and everything.
Yeah, they don't need to do that in the South, dude. That's another thing about the North-South debate. You don't need to deflate the balls in the South.
I'm sorry. I had to make that joke because that's like the one knock on Brady, and even the air that was let out wasn't that much.
It's not like Ty's walking into an environment that's worse than Georgia or Missouri.
No,
I don't think he's going to be seeing anything he hasn't seen thus far, and he's just going to continue to get better. The rhetoric Kalen DeBoer has been spewing is that they're not good and they're going to be better, and that you haven't seen the best that Alabama is, and I trust that. And that is something that he didn't say last year. He didn't say the year before, or didn't say last year. It's just this team is different. I think that they're going to go all the way this year, guys. I just feel it. I think it's going to be such a good story. They lost against Florida State, who ended up sucking.
Indiana.
They are beating Indiana's butt.
No, another hypothetical
Wrong.
win for the SEC.
It's not even Indiana they have to worry about. It's Ohio. Ohio State is much better than Indiana. I think once they get down to it.
I guess we'll find out when the playoffs come.
I can't wait for that, dude. I hope they play. They're gonna play in the Big Ten championship, and I can't wait for that game. That game's gonna be a showdown.
Indiana versus Vandy in the CFP will feed families.
God, that would be awesome.
National title game right there.
I mean, if you look at the AP poll, what do you got here? You got A&M above Alabama just because they're undefeated. I don't disagree with that. I think A&M's going to end up losing to probably LSU and Missouri and maybe even South Carolina at the end of the season. I think that they're waiting to get exposed. Alabama's already beat Georgia, and they did that at home. If that's a neutral site, I think Bama wins by a couple scores. So I think 1, 2, 3, Ohio State, Indiana, Bama. Those are the teams that you're looking at right now. I think you could throw Oregon in there.
Yeah, I think Oregon could turn it around.
Oregon's a really good team too. Yes,
I think Penn State's going to turn it around.
Georgia Tech is I don't think is, I mean, just because they're undefeated, they're up there. Miami they've already got exposed by Louisville, so I think they're pretty much cooked. Ole Miss, I think is going to lose this game, so they're kind of out of it after that.
Yeah.
And then like you get to BYU. BYU is not going to beat any of those top 4 teams at all. It's not even
No.
close. Vandy,
I think they beat A&M.
we already beat Vandy, and I think neutral site, it's fine. I'm not scared about that. And
Yeah.
so
I don't know. It's super hard to predict. I think a lot of these teams, talent wise, are pretty dang even. So it's going to be hard until they actually meet up.
yeah,
And
it's
see,
like
because I think it's going to come down to the coaching.
It's
Personally,
also a lot harder to win the second time than it is the first time.
that is fair.
they say that, but if you're looking at like a team like Vandy going against Bama, who's kind of gimmicky, I think you would rather see what they got on the field,
Mhm.
so you kind of know what you're getting. But I would agree that if Indiana and Ohio State get matched up again, whoever loses that probably has an advantage going into the second matchup if they meet up again. So
Probably. All
'cause,
right.
yeah. Well, sorry. Before we get off,
No,
that,
you're good.
you think obviously end of season both get there undefeated because Indiana does not play pretty much anyone the rest of the season.
No.
Ohio State, they get Michigan. That's gonna be fun.
Yep.
You
That
get
was a
to the
good
Big
game.
Ten championship, and like say Ohio State beats the brakes off Indiana. Is it Indiana's still in the playoffs, right, for you guys?
Yeah.
100%.
One.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
If they made it last year, they'll make it this year because they have a better resume this year.
It's like beating Oregon was like they're pretty much automatically in the playoffs after that.
It sucks,
they win
dude.
out.
They don't
blow it.
play anybody. That's great. It's
Oh
the
my
same
God,
thing
they
as
don't
last
play
year,
anybody.
dude.
I mean, we said that about the Big Ten last year, and the Big Ten ran the CFP last year. So
I know it's so difficult.
it's hard to make. And then Indiana put up a hell of a fight in the playoff game, so you can't say, well, they don't deserve to be there. Like they played
They
well.
lost to Notre Dame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Notre Dame went to the championship.
Yes,
So, I mean,
and then got beat by Ohio State. So I don't know. It's hard to say because I wish the Big Ten was stronger overall as a conference. But
we are very strong as a conference. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. The problem is like this year, if Indiana does say they get beat bad by Ohio State or something, barring injuries, who are you going to put in there that you think's better than Indiana? You know?
Yeah, I guess it's all right. Well, like because the teams like they already beat Oregon, so you can't put them above.
Yep.
They're gonna that head to head is gonna be counted. So yeah, it'd be hard to say. I think if Oklahoma ends up winning, that they might have an argument. But yeah, you're right. It's it's funny. The parity is there's way more parity, but it still feels like the top half or like this top group here are still way stronger than the rest. It's interesting that it works that way.
I think there's more chances for upsets as
Yeah.
now. I don't think that
honestly, I think it just all comes down to play style. Like
it
whoever
can.
like they're paired up, like whoever they're paired up with in like the first round of the CFP, like that makes all the difference. Because if you are a very well running team and not like such a good passing team, but you're playing a team that sucks at run defense and is decent at pass, like you're gonna have a really good game. It's like these teams, like what they're built for is like whoever they're matched up against, like whoever has a better matchup almost is gonna win that all the time. Unless you're like, I mean, I guess like the top 3 teams in the nation, maybe 4, like those guys are all like really good at everything, obviously, but like 5 through 12, it's matchup based, I think, honestly.
Okay. I know that we love talking about this, but we got to get moving because I do work tonight. So, and I want to talk at length about the Minnesota Iowa game a little bit. Maybe not as long as we were just on that and talk about, but
Okay.
I want to talk about
Sorry.
that a little bit. So.
I'm taking Bama minus 11.5. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to make it short and sweet. I was going to take Bama 11.5 here. I like South Carolina. I just think Bama's starting to hit their stride. So, Zach?
Yeah, they are. Not this game.
Oh.
Stupid pick of the week.
Oh, boy.
SC money line.
Wow.
Give me that. Going into SC, dude, Bama's overlooking this game. Like, just gonna hate to say it. They're overlooking this game. It's like, just like you said, like they already got beat by Oklahoma at home. Coming into this game with wanting to put on a show, and they're gonna lose.
I would agree with you if they didn't play a really close game last year against South Carolina. I would agree, but I think that they nearly got beat last year, so they're looking at it.
We can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Up next, we got Vandy sorry, number 15 Missouri taking on number 10 Vandy. Vandy is favored by 2.5. The over/under is set at 53.5. Christian, I'll give you a break because most of these games are SEC games this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Vandy. I'm a believer right now in Vandy. I know they didn't beat Bama, but I am a believer in Vandy right now. And that was a good game. If they don't, screw up in the red zone, that's a close, really, really close game at the end there. So, and it was anyways, wasn't it? Like, give me Vandy minus 2.5.
Yeah.
Zach,
I'm gonna be honest with you here. I'm not really a Missouri believer. I mean, looking at their last few games, 23-17 at Auburn. I mean, I don't think Auburn's that good of a football team. 27-24 home against Bama. I mean, that's a close game. I wouldn't fault them for that. It's just looking at their schedule. UMass 42-6. I mean, I think Penn State beat them, so I mean that's not really. It's not a good thing. And then South Carolina 29-20. I'm not a Missouri believer here. I'm also going to take Vandy minus 2.5.
okay.
Or yeah.
Could be pick of the week. We'll see what Cameron puts tonight. I said I'd get a hold of him after the show. All right, up next we got number 23 Illinois going to Washington. Both are 5-2. Washington, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about them because they're kind of an interesting team. Washington is favored by 4.5, and the over/under is set at 54.5. Zach, you can go ahead and start this one because I'll save you for last on Minnesota, Iowa, or me. Do you want to go last? Save the best for last for the Iowa game?
I don't really care.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a really good game. This is definitely one to watch. If you're looking at could be potential CFP games because Illinois is still up there. I mean, they still have a
They'd
little
have to
bit
win
of a
out.
shot. It's not a big shot, but I mean, I think Illinois is a good team. They got Brett Billum over there. I think they're going to come out firing this week. I'm going to take Illinois plus 4.5 here.
All right, Christian.
I'm taking Washington. I've been riding with them, and they've been disappointing me. But I just think, especially being at home, they're just too talented. I like them a lot.
Yeah. I also took Washington mainly because I was at home. If they were playing in Illinois, I would have probably taken Illinois money line or something, or whatever they were favored by.
Okay.
But with it being in Washington, they played Ohio State tough there for quite a while. I think Washington's going to take this down, and I actually picked against Washington when they played Maryland, so I'm just feeling good about. I don't know how much I trust Illinois personally. They're a hard team to read too because they got absolutely trounced by Indiana, which as a top 25 team, you should not be losing by 53 points ever. So, yeah, I'll take Washington
They
minus
also beat
4.5.
USC.
Ooh, boomer bust. We already talked about them.
USC is a good team.
Tell that to Notre Dame. All right. Up next, this is a game that, we kind of hustled through those last ones. We stuck on Bama longer than I thought we would because they're playing South Carolina. But this is a huge rivalry game for Minnesota. Minnesota in Kinnick. It is a 2:30 kick. I'm pumped to watch this. Before we get going, I want to tell you I am sick and tired of the damn Hawkeye fans. It wasn't a fair catch. Well, good thing they didn't rule it a fair catch. It was invalid. You guys are dumb. Read the rule book. Minnesota got called for that literally 2 weeks before that game happened. Quit crying. You had the ball at like the 50-yard line with a chance to kick the field goal to win, and you still couldn't do it. So it's not like you didn't have a chance after that play. So be better. That's all I got to say. Be better. All right. Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. I'm tired of seeing that and hearing it. I thought we were done with that 2 years ago. Apparently not, because that was the last time we were in Iowa City. All right, Zach, we'll have you start off the Minnesota-Iowa matchup here.
Oh, how nice of you. I mean, you take away last year's game, and I believe the under would hit in 7 straight years. But could be give or take a year. I think there's no reason to not go the under. Looking at this game from like a Minnesota standpoint, Iowa is just Nebraska with a better run game and a worse passing game. I think personally, I think we stick Coy down in the box almost the entire game and have him just manned up on Garnowski. If we do that, I don't see a reason we can't win this game. Obviously, it's at Iowa, difficult place to win. I mean, they
According to
put up a
Fleck,
fight.
it's the hardest place to play.
I wouldn't be
For
surprised.
him,
Like
probably.
it's definitely up there. Indiana, like they only lost to Indiana by 5 at home. I think it's going to be another really good game out of these two teams. Minnesota's passing attack is a lot more dynamic, and the run game is like it's there if it wants to be there. We have a two-headed monster then with a freshman Fame. Love that guy. Like that kid runs like a beast. Like I think we almost run into this game with the same kind of game plan that we did for Nebraska. Just they run more, do more like QB options, QB reads. I think if we can hold Garnowski to limited runs, I think this game should be ours to lose.
You butchered Gronowski's name so bad. All right,
I don't
Christian,
care, dude.
who do you
South
got in
Dakota,
this one?
Southwest
Back
Dakota,
off,
screw that guy.
Gronowski. What do you
Um,
got, Christian?
I'm torn because I want to pick Iowa just to have the reverse jinx for everybody, and because
That'd be
and
nice.
sacrifice myself. But
Very noble.
I just think across the board, what does Iowa have that's better than Minnesota?
The offensive line.
Not the quarterback, not the running back, not the receivers. And if you're getting the defense that you got against Nebraska, Iowa's defense is not better than we would be. So I mean, the fact that this is over a touchdown spread is blowing my mind. I get that Kinnick is hard to play in. I get it. But Drake Lindsay is like Tom Brady. What do you think?
I prefer more of a Big Ben comparison.
I'm fine with that. That's fine. But it's the same idea. It's like when you've put these guys in bad situations, Drake Lindsay doesn't turn the ball over a ton. He doesn't make bad decisions. He might not push the ball down the field, and part of that is play calling, but I don't think that he's going to put you guys in danger, especially at important moments. He's mature beyond his years, and I think that they've been looking forward to this game, and I think that the Gophers are going to win. So I'm going to take Minnesota money line. And I'm sorry if that jinxes it, but I'm taking
No.
Minnesota money line.
I was hoping I was the only one that was going to take the money line.
Trying to reverse jinxing.
All right. So obviously, I'm going to go Minnesota money line. I will never pick Iowa over Minnesota. I don't care what the game looks like. I will always eat that L because I will never pick the Hawkeyes against the Gophers. But Minnesota money line, it's not going to come down to is it an invalid fair catch? Nah, Minnesota by about 20, boys.
It could.
This Iowa team, I don't get how they're 5-2. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't understand.
It's because they play in the Big Ten.
Every Iowa team, literally every Iowa team ever, bro. Like, what do you mean?
Like we never know how they got the record. Like, oh, they're 12 or they're 10-2. How'd that happen? They're not that good. Kirk Ferentz is a great defensive coach. As much as I don't like Ferentz, he is a good defensive coach.
I mean, teams with a pulse, except for the Indiana game, which I think was a fluke. Teams with a pulse put up points. Rutgers put up 28. Penn State put up 24. The Penn State.
I mean, they lost by 1.
So 4 losses in a row, fired their coach, Penn State.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to go Minnesota. The winner of this game gets ranked as well.
100%.
I could see that, yeah.
Yes.
If Minnesota's tackling, because that's the biggest question, because it's been, last week was amazing for tackling, and we've seen that a couple of times where they tackled pretty well. If they tackle well, Minnesota wins this game, and I think it's pretty easily. I know they're in Kinnick, they're in the pink locker room, whatever, but I think Minnesota's going to take this one. Like Christian said, I think we have the better quarterback. I think we have better receivers. Darius Taylor is a stud at running back. I don't care who you are. And you have Ejeboy, to spell him, good change of pace back, physical.
He's going to be good, too. He's going to be good.
Lindsay has led 2 comebacks. I mean, he came back from 14 down against Rutgers, and then against Purdue, he led a comeback. I know we won on the pick 6, but I think if you give our offense the ball back, we're probably scoring and getting that situation when we're not trying to bleed the clock out, because our offense all of a sudden started humming. So I think Lindsay's, because quarterback is the most important position. I think Lindsay's is better than Gronowski. Like I said, you need to be able to tackle Gronowski, though. That dude is a beast when he runs the football.
I stay coy on him all game.
And
honestly.
even at the FBS level, he's been a load to bring down for defenses. He just can't throw the ball very well at this level. So give me Minnesota money line though.
I
Iowa
also think
fans, I want to see what you cry about this year after we win. So
I also think another really big emphasis, just like last week, is winning in the trenches. If
yeah,
we win in the trenches, we win everywhere else. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if we manned up with one overhead safety almost the entire game.
I would. We have better
But we
athletes, I think.
have to win in the trenches. That is the
Yeah.
main focus last week. It should be the main focus again this week. If we win in the trenches, there should be no reason that we ever lose this game.
I'm sorry, boys. I'm pumped up for Saturday. Only one game. Well, yeah, only one game on here is half the reason I'm pumped up. There's another one, but that's FCS, so we won't get into that. Up next, we got number 3 Texas A&M.
Game day should have went there. I
Game
will
day
say that.
should have
Game day
gone
should
there.
have. They should have went there.
It doesn't get much better than NDSU and SDSU, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sorry. You want to talk about a
top
hate?
10 Vandy? Come on.
No,
in
dude.
Nashville.
Vandy,
In
dude,
Nashville.
number one and number 2.
In the
rivalry
FCS,
game.
yeah.
Like what else? What else do you want?
Dude, they're 1
Battle
and
for the
2.
Dakota.
They're 1 and 2 every year.
No, they're not. This is only the 4th time
Dakota
in
State sucks recently.
4th?
No, not recently.
Oh, so they're 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 1 and 4. Like
Yeah,
they're
pretty
not.
much.
They're not outside of the top. These teams are not outside of the top 5, and they haven't been.
But game day doesn't go there very often.
They went there in
don't go
2019,
outside of.
and that was
they
a
don't
South
go
Dakota
there
State
outside
upset.
of
When was the last time that they went to a Vandy game? That's what
I have no idea if they've even been to one.
last year.
Were they there for the Bama Vandy game?
Oh, I think they might
No,
have been.
they went the week after they beat Vandy, or
Yeah.
week after they beat Vandy.
Yeah. All right. Christian's going to look that up here. We're just going to move on to our picks while he's looking that up. Number 3, Texas A&M at number 20, LSU. I'm going to go first. A&M is favored by 2.5. Over-under is 50.5. Give me A&M. I think they're going to score more than 24 points. And if you can score more than 24, you beat LSU. So give me A&M minus 2.5 here. Zach, since Christian's still typing, what do you got?
See, this game's gonna be kind of hard for me to pick because it's at LSU as well. I'm an SEC hater, so I mean, A&M doesn't really have that good of a win besides Notre Dame. I mean, they play Mississippi State, who's bottom of bottom, Auburn, who's bottom of bottom. Florida,
Auburn's a
who's
good
really
team.
They really stink. Yeah, they're still bottom of the conference. I don't like. It doesn't matter if they're a good team or not. They're still bottom of the conference. Florida's been struggling recently. Arkansas's. I mean, I can't. Don't really know how good they are. Honestly, I mean, like they're win this in the conference too, but they've played some decent games. I'm an SEC hater. I think A&M is not it. They're overrated year in, year out. Never changes. I mean, I don't get how they're always ranked super high, then they end up 6-6 or 7-5. Give me LSU plus 2.5 here. I think LSU wins this game, but I'll take the plus 2.5 to be safe.
Christian, who do you got in this one?
I alluded to it before. I think that A&M is exposable. I like them. I'm a Marcel Reed supporter. I like them a lot. I think that their throwing game is crazy. Mario Craver has nearly 700 yards already. He's cooking. But LSU played better than I thought they would against Vanderbilt. So maybe they figured some things out, and they're certainly not going to play that poor on defense again. So I think that A&M going into LSU especially, that's a very tough place to play. And it's ranked v ranked. They're going to show up. So I'm going to take LSU plus 2.5 as well.
All right. So I know I get why you guys picked LSU. I understand that. I just don't think LSU's offense is that good, and that's pretty much the only reason I'm going on right now. Like their defense is fantastic, but if they have a competent defense across from them, they don't put up many points. So that I think both ways of looking at it are decent to understand why we did what we chose what we chose.
That's college football now.
Yeah. So I'm going to take A&M minus 2.5 still. I think we're going to pull this one out. But we hit our 8:30 time mark, which is what I was aiming for. Congrats, boys. Then I can, get ready for work. But any closing thoughts?
Nope. There's
I
not a
hate
ton of
Iowa.
yeah. There's not a ton of games, but they're pretty good ones that have lots of playoff implications. So
Yeah.
good week to watch.
I just also want
Who
to point out Minnesota is not out of the playoff race. We have a 0.1% chance.
Got to win out.
Well, so
And to be fair, we play Oregon after a bye week, and we're historically good out of bye week. So there's a chance there. There's a chance. There's a chance.
Okay, you'd have to hope for Indiana or Ohio State to lose.
Northwestern
Yeah, but
5-2, by the way.
if we go 10 and
Yeah, that's
we
what I
go
was talking
10-2.
about. That's surprising.
Did anyone notice that?
Yeah,
That's
I asked you if you wanted them.
No, I mean, no. But that'll
See,
be
if this was
if
a
they
Big
get
Ten West, they'd make the. This is
They
Big Ten
could.
West. They'd make the conference championship.
probably, yeah. But
It's one of those years where
yeah, it's Northwestern here.
Minnesota, Iowa are going to beat each other up. One of them's going to lose,
Then the other one
Northwestern's
loses to
just gonna
Wisconsin.
Sneak in. Yeah, and the one's just Northwestern's just going to sneak in.
Yep, it's happened before. Anyways,
Many times actually.
I have a closing statement. Well, more of a
Mhm.
chant. Who hates Iowa?
We hate Iowa.
You're right. Also, ears up, horns down. Go Jacks. Christian shaking his head, but I'm a diehard Jackrabbits fan, so represent. But
Yeah, they'll lose.
anyways, from all of us here at Dinkytown Sports, Skyma, roll the boat, go Gophers.
Roll Golden Flashes.
Roll Tide, re-sign Pete Alonso, please.
And for Cam, roll Mavs.